We're going to begin this broadcast with news from across the borders. And the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, has declared a parallel government in Sudan, challenging the military leadership led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and escalating a conflict already tearing Sudan apart. RSF leader Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo made the announcement on Tuesday, just as diplomats gathered in London to try and find solutions to the war 2 years since it began. Dagalo's announcement comes just months after the RSF signed a political charter and unveiled a new constitution right here in Nairobi. We begin our broadcast with our very own Melita Ole-Tengus.
It's been 2 years since Sudan plunged into a civil war. April 15, 2023, the day the uneasy transition to civilian rule collapsed, triggering a brutal conflict between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces. Since then, the war has shattered communities and left the country in ruins, more than 13 million people displaced and tens of thousands killed. Now, on the second anniversary of the war, the RSF leader Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemedti, has declared the formation of a rival government on Sudan soil. This comes just weeks after the RSF signed a political charter and unveiled a new constitution in Nairobi. Dagalo says his vision is for a new Sudan. He emphasizes that it is not the formation of a parallel state, but a realistic future for Sudan. Dagalo's declaration came as foreign ministers and diplomats gathered in London for the Lancaster House Conference on Sudan, an international effort to end the war in Sudan, but instead of unity. The meeting ended in division, with some countries supporting SAF and others RSF, with no final statement, no breakthrough. The United Kingdom, European Union, the African Union, France and Germany hosted the talks, all urging an immediate ceasefire. But neither side of Sudan's conflict, SAF leader General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, nor the RSF Hamdan Dagalo were invited. With President William Ruto facing harsh criticism over his ties with the RSF and Hemedti for allowing RSF political activity on Kenyan soil, Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs Musalia Mudavadi is now seemingly pushing back, saying pressure must be exerted in equal measure on the parties to the conflict to force them to the negotiating table. But as the world diplomats go back and forth, the violence rages on. In Western Sudan, the RSF is tightening its grip on Darfur, now laying siege to El Fasher, the last major city in the region not under its control. The UN says more than 400 people have been killed in recent days. On Sunday, the RSF claimed it had taken over the Zamzam displacement camp. The US has condemned the RSF, accusing it of targeting civilians in Zamzam and Abu Shuk camps. With no clear path to peace and a rival government being declared mid-conflict, Sudan's future is more uncertain than ever. One country, two governments, a war with no end in sight, and the biggest humanitarian crisis in the world. Melita Ole-Tengus, Citizen TV.